I'm muted. Hi, professional streamer. I'm so good at this. Hi, welcome back to Murder Mystery Game. We are here. We are ready to watch more consequences of picking weapons up off the floor. You see gun on floor, maybe tap somebody on the shoulder and be like, is this your gun? Instead of touching it. I'm the biggest pro. Rum Runner, Ari, Snake Eyes, Jem, Lee Myers, how we all doing? You ready for the proest pro? It me. It me. Alright, I think that was where I had my audio levels. Yell at me if they're bad. I mean, nicely yell at me, but yell at me. No. I liked it. Nope. I can press buttons. Please ignore me. I want... No. I stamp proest of pros. Starts nearly every other stream. Muted. Pro streamer, pro button presser. We're starting off good. Okay, so the trial got paused because we decided absolutely everyone had perjured themselves on the stand so far, and what can we believe in anything? Did we murder somebody? Nobody knows anymore. Oh, friend. Excellent work. That was superb. My heart was in my mouth the entire time, and I'm really good at doing things. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there, you were drenched in sweat, your eyes were popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you'd started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it, that's terrifying. If I get through this, I won't ever see the inside of a courtroom again. That's wrong. Because otherwise I don't know what we're doing for the rest of this game. Ah ha ha. Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your phantom lady at last. Is his headband flowing indoors? Yes, it has. The game stated that he had a mystical aura. And that's the headband. His headband just flies as it likes. We just let him do what he wants. Oh no, I forgot. I could not remember how to say her name. Jezza Ill. Jezza Ill? I don't know. We're gonna call her Jezza, because otherwise I'm just gonna keep screwing it up. Alright, Miss Brett, the student from Great Britain, is she? That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. Jezzael? Oh, thank you everyone for attempting to make me... It's a Sherlock Holmes reference. Oh. Oh. I mean, that makes sense, seeing as these games are loaded with those. There's a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? And no one believed me. I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are the one thing I'm sure of. Tiff, how you doing? Secondary, my dear Wilson. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. You see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. I was too busy looking at the man who was dead in front of me. Oh, you guys have just had the mouse just hanging out on the screen, huh? Just on my way to the restaurant, out of the restaurant myself. Then on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table was a gun. I just picked it up. Ryunosuke, we know that you just picked up a gun. We just spent 2 hours talking about it. Bang. I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. Waiter ran over to me looking as white as a sheet. He bundled me into some small pantry next to the kitchen. As thinking by the detective, he apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay. And yes, because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside the dining area. No one mentioned he was just put in a pantry last time. There you are. Well done, both of you. Who's this talking? Normally we get question marks. Oh, it's Professor Man. Professor Mikotaba! Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Yes, it seems you've planned this from the start. You arranged things so that I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Which is kind of sketchy. Our modern country is still in its infancy. Our justice system, even more so. Which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest, youngest stars overseas to learn all they can. I wanted to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, if I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life, I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyways. I mean, it's not like he's not just allowed in the courtroom with us. Because that's allowed. What, does he have a tribble around his waist? I would assume it is some kind of decorative thing that is holding his coat on, but I would not know the exact terminology for it. But it is a little poofy poof. What are you saying, Kazuma? So that's your stance. How dare you want to help your friend? I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma. Well then, it looks like it all comes down to you, young man. To me? Yes, you need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to them. You have a personal connection to this case? Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? When he explained nothing to us. You don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? I mean, one would hope. They were both professors at the same university. Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was visiting professor at Yume. It was I who invited him. The plot thickens. I see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain. A well-known one at that. Thank you. I've forgotten this in the week we haven't played. Not even a week, days. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. Which is why they said they'd send a telegram 2 hours into a trial. Let's not forget who we're up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Dun dun. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. But I've no doubt that you will put up a good fight, right to the last. Best of luck. Thank you! Now then. I need to run an errand at the university at once. I have to prove my innocence. We don't have time for any errands. Something I think we may need. Oh wait, he's talking to her. Never mind. Good luck, Kazuma-sama. Okay, bye. Defendant! Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once. Oh, never mind. I thought we were having a break to go try and prove things, but no, we're just going right back into the courtroom. Let's deal a decisive blow before those old fossil knows what hit them. Oh boy. Oh boy. Kazuma. What? Thank you. Really. What for? Well, if you hadn't said you believed in me, then I'm fairly sure to have already been found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer and as a friend. That's good. Coming from you, that means a lot. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really going to give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. This isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. So really, he could have been our lawyer this entire time. Because the outcome is gonna be the same. But we can't swap lawyers in trial. Alright then. Save the thank yous for after the trial. You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like at Yume Cafeteria on University Street. With an extra large portion, of course. 12:09 p.m. We had less than 10 minutes. The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhado. Prosecutor Ayuchi? Have you managed to subpoena the witness? Yes, Your Excellency, against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling... What's a stripling? Cat? What the heck's a stripling? The prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government. Oh, it's us. It's us. You are under scrutiny because you failed to do your job correctly. Yee. Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. Nothing to worry about. It's highly unlikely that good relations we've forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. Maybe we shouldn't have perjured everything. Do you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down and our nation founders? Maybe flounders? I'm just learning words in this game, let's be honest. Again, terribly sorry. If the friendship between our nations is so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth paper it's written on. Stripling is a young man. Really have nothing to worry about. What do you mean? A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is that what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan or of England? You can't get over this guy's headband, make him go away. No, he's the only smart person in the room. We need him. Shut up, you jumped up rookie boy. You and your friend know nothing. Nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in. By aligning ourselves with this great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures. I won't deny that I'm no expert. I'm just a student who couldn't get his hands to slap and make sound until like 20 minutes ago. I'm one who could arguably study harder too. But standing here now in our Supreme Court, there is one thing I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. Yee. Gasp. Well said, Ryunosuke. Despite the wide-eyed look of terror, our boy's never sure of his statements. You little brats! Thank you, Counsel. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. That in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. gonna double check because I've already forgotten how you. Giselle? Miss Giselle. Your Excellency! Look at your hat. Why are we getting double witnesses again? That's not how this works. What is her music? Well, what a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan, and from such a distant land. Tea! Someone bring English tea! In England, no discussion takes place without tea. What is happening? Is that true? I'm gonna have to ask our resident Brit. No idea. So, could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court? Of course. My name is Taro Hasanaga. We weren't talking to you, I don't think. I've been working undercover as the head waiter at... Yep. Alright, game, you just speeding us. Yes, we know about you right now. Why do we have two witnesses again? I'm so confused by the double witness thing. Inspector Hasanaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first. Is that true? No idea. More importantly, a little earlier today, you said something to me. You said your powers of observation is the one thing you're sure of. Oh yes, I think I did, didn't I? It was 10 minutes ago. Yet your description of this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Ryunosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. Look at that face. Can we just talk about this face? Guilty. Oh dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please. Why do you have a mask? Oh no, she's speaking British at us. Help! I need a translator. I'm assuming it's because she's speaking English. Doctor got it. That did look like Dr. Scroll. I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but what? Oh no, now he's speaking Dr. Scroll. Bungalist help. I want to know what the not at symbol is. The lady says her name is Giselle Brett. She comes from London, England. You should remove your mask for the court. We gotta confirm identity. Truth. She's a visiting research student currently enrolled in Yume University's medical facility. Faculty. Never mind, not facility. Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet tones of delightful language of the British people. I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird's song. How would you not relate her to a swan? She's wearing all swans, sir. As far as I can tell, the detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Yes, I agree. You'll obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? Shouldn't he know what she was saying if he's going to England to do law things? No, you've clearly been paying attention in your English classes. Please cut those strands off his terrible headband. I like how much you guys are getting triggered by his headband. The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if it may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called La Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? Fancy speaks, fancy speak. More fancy speak. Like, we should be able to get words if he knows English. She says yes. She said more than yes. Sir, faithfully interpret, please. This could take some time. So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese. She could nod. She could also nod. Nodding and shaking her head are universal. She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately. Someone at your table just got murdered and you're just like, oop, gotta go present something. Interesting, when you're the one who engineered her escape. I was just following special orders from the Bureau. Maybe she can't nod because of the weight of her hat. Well now, dear lady, would you please be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print? Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your resplendent eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps? Stop using the $10 words. They're not gonna translate well. Apparently, it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight. You mean to say? Yes, it would appear the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused, standing right there in the courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood. I mean, no. Look at the tail poofed! The little swan butt. You need this outfit. Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement. Alright, but the dude who's translating has already perjured himself. So... Does that count for anything? Why is he allowed back? Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is. Why are you unsheathing your sword, sir? Put that back. Put it back. Unfortunately, I'll have to ask you to formally testify, if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described. And take your mask off. We only use the best methods in which we allow perjured witnesses to testify. A frightening and sorrowful sight. Yep. I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered myself only a beef stick. There was wine. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor and they got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. Where are her eyeballs? They're gone. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. What if there's a gun inside your swan somehow? Just a thought.
Yes!
What? Alright, don't get to read that. No, I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all.
Objection!
Quiet, you filthy wretch. Look at you, you black-hearted blackguard. Look at this snow-white angel. For even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine whose words the court is going to believe. No, I'm literally allowed to question her. You're still making the same mistakes. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. It's a lesson you need to learn. I like his just, are you stupid face? Did you not learn? Oh, but he's so annoying. Of course, I was at the scene as well. Took statements from this lady and 2 witnesses who testified before and reported back to the Bureau. It was decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go. That's not how this works. The testimonies of the last 2 witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so, on the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. As you can see, there's nowhere in her person she could conceal a firearm. Are you crazy? That thing has so many folds and things, she could clearly hide a firearm on her person. Thank you. I love that this game regularly just says what I'm thinking. Thank you, game. Unless and until the precise location where the witness is to have hidden a weapon can be shown, this is moot. I bet it's in the Swan. I want it to be in the Swan. Excuse me, she could hide a Winchester rifle in that outfit. Check her tits. Absolutely everywhere. They could be in the booba, they could be in the Swan, they could be in the butt flap. Who knows? Dresses of this era had plenty of hiding room. Pretty sure I watched a TikTok the other day in which somebody made a thing to order and there was an entire wine bottle pocket in the butt. So, entirely possible. That's ridiculous. If only I was allowed to lift up her dress, I could prove it. No! Don't think about doing anything rash. I didn't find the gun I picked up. There must have been another gun there that day. Don't pick up guns off the floor. You're right about that, which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we will need to pull her testimony apart. Oop, she smirked. The defense may now cross-examine the witness, whipping out swords, looking up dresses full of giggities. I forget what happened the other last playthrough, but boy, were there some giggity phrasings. So, like, yeah, these games are great. Oh, yes, Your Excellency. Cross-examination. Can I press her weird doctor speak? I'd arranged for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson. That seems normal. I think I had a question on this. I ordered for myself only a beefsteak. But she also ordered wine. So, boop. Nope, not present. I want to press.
Yes!
He was unable to eat, you say? And that was because he just had tooth removed at Hata Clinic, correct? That's right. You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering. This is why he shouldn't be up there. Was Miss Brett aware of that fact? Seems so, yes. She'd heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment. So that would mean that it was you who ate the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett? Was the knife not... The knife wasn't sharp enough. That's why it just looks like somebody just took bites out of it. Ah, yes, that's right. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying events. But why was he sitting in front of it? Eh? Why was he in front of the food? Exactly as it was left? Dear me, what a harrowing experience! To have traveled to a distant land on the far side of the world and be embroiled in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my lady. I swear I will crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to this terrible plight. For the victim, Dr. Wilson had nothing to eat or drink at all. That's right. Other than some carbonated water. Why was that not on the table? Just water? Bubble water. Yes, the professor was unable to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. So it appears that the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each. No, there's clearly wine on the table. They each raised a glass of carbonated water. Like... Wait. Fine, that could be carbonated water instead of wine because it's not red. But there's not a second one, which is a problem. There's not a second place setting for water. So therefore, it's very meaningful. He's lost his slapping powers. Oh, I love that animation so much. The last statement of yours, Miss Brett, has a profound bearing on this case. Well, well, how fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing, It's the fact that there's not two glasses on the damn table. The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. Kazuma knows how to just BS his way through something. The defense calls for the witness's latest statement to be formally added to the testimony. Knife was also on the right side of the plate. British learn to cut with their left hand. Do they? Is that a thing? Interesting. Well sidestepped, Counsel. Very well. Miss Brett, kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony. Assuming I'm going to press that statement. Gladly, she said. Or no, I don't have to press it. I can show the photograph and be like, where's the stupid second thing? Brilliant, I'm gonna remember that one. Switching to cut is an American thing. Interesting. The significance will become apparent when the time is right. I could really use that phrase. I love... Okay, so when he's disappointed in you, the wind goes away. And he's just like, come on. The wind goes away and he just gives you the look of, you're just bad. You take the wind from his tails. Alright. Wait. Okay, so I gotta present one. Probably the crime scene photo because it shows the whole table. Hoppa!
Yes!
The music stopped, which means I'm probably right in what I just chose to do. Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim table at the crime scene. That it was exactly as it was left. That is correct, the lady says. Well, it's odd. It's very odd. Dear me, what's odd about the defense's inability to express itself? He's really good at words. He's like me. Ryunosuke, what is it about the print that looks odd to you? Well, obviously, it's the cheers. The cheers? Miss Brett just told us that she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. What if that's true? There should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1. You're quite right, Counsel. There's only 1 glass pictured here. I still want to know, why is the steak just full-on chomped on?
Objection!
Somebody didn't use their utensils. We're supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over a... I don't even... minute... Nope, not even gonna try. Over this tiny detail. What possible difference does the presence or absence of glass make on the case? That she's lying? Like, dude, we've already proven 2 other people have lied. Don't make me say that word. I don't know what that word is, and I can't pronounce it. Minutia. That's how you spell... Wait, that's how you spell minutia? I hate the English language. I hate the English language. It's so dumb. I know that word. I had no idea how it was spelled. Could it be that the detective here removed a glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence? Of course not. I would never do something so reckless, but I would hide a witness. There should have been 2 glasses on the table. Are you gonna try and tell me you can clink with only 1? It's a new sound of 1 hand clapping. Quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses and... I certainly took 2 glasses to the table, you say? Where'd it go? Inspector, what did the lady say? It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table. So now she's a thief as well. What? It was all so terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try and hide the fact that I'd been there at all. That's not how a normal person should think. Good gracious. Dumb little mask. Excuse me, how did... Excuse me? Sorry. She's over here somehow making her mask make expressions. Liar, liar, swans on fire. There, I assured the court before. This is of no consequence at all. Oh, please. We must remember that this student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who could blame her for concealing a glass or 2 in her state of disarray? That's absurd. Oh, really? Did we take it that you were now going to accuse this vulnerable young, beautiful woman of mischief? Murder. We're gonna accuse her of murder. What? No. This can't be put down as mischief. I'd like to know. Exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. You know how she couldn't conceal a gun? How'd she conceal a glass? It would seem that she slipped it into a small handbag she was carrying. A handbag, you say? Yes, Your Excellency, a small handheld pouch commonly carried by well-to-do English women. I goofed that up, but I got the sentence done anyways. So the beautiful lady has very graciously explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. Again, if she could fit a glass, she could fit a gun. However, the fact remains this glass has absolutely no bearing on the case. The student had been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning, but in the end it comes to nothing. No more pretentious accusations. You have wasted enough time already. Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as why she removed this glass. I think henceforth we can consider this matter to have no bearing on the case. Nope. Show me the purse. Show me the purse. Show me the purse. I don't know, really. I want to pursue the matter further. Going to need to show that it has some deeper significance. Yes, you're right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. There's a deeper significance there. It's the handbag. Wait, the lady put the glass in her handbag, you say? Thank you, dum-dum boy. Yes, do try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that all English women, gentlewomen, carry handbags for small items. Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I've nowhere to hide a gun. But she forgot to mention what's her handbag. Which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. Thank you. Right. Well done, partner. I have a feeling you'd pick up on that too. You could have told us. You coulda. What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard? It's really very simple. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. He didn't fire that gun. We can deduce there must have been another firearm at that scene. Look at him, even practicing trigger discipline. The true murder weapon, if you will. All these British insults. You can't seriously be suggesting. Inspector Hasanaga! Yes? Did you or did you not search Miss Brett's handbag the day of the murder? No, sir, I did not. As I thought. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag. No! I can't wait for this lady to have her breakdown. Because their animations are always so great. What's the meaning of this, Inspector? Meaning to what, Professor? Not Professor, Prosecutor. Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag to show you the contents at its time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations. Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. We could just ask her to put the mask down. Do you think so? Oh no, his TB's back. Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in the police. I'm worried that there's a police officer just hacking up blood constantly and coughing near people. Oh no, I don't have a lot of faith right now. As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting. Simply because it was unnecessary. Unnecessary in what way? I had to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I'd completely forgotten about. Just casually forgetting evidence. It's fine. This photographic print. All right, they're gonna be saying it's see-through, but it's not. There's clearly a piece of cloth that could hold another pocket that could hold a gun. But what is his little tattoo? It matches the plateware. He had like a steer like that, which means the plate was really hot and he got a burn. Something's going on here. And what's that smudging on the purse? It's a Texas Longhorn. It is. As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag. Well, I never. You can see right through to what's inside. Yeah, but there's a secret, discreet inner lining, so... Because otherwise we could see through to the chair, and we cannot. Apparently, mesh work bags like these are the height of fashion in London at the moment. So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly, so there's no need to search the lady's handbag. If there'd been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. I think that picture's gonna go into evidence. Usually they don't show us a picture and then not give it to us as well. As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. There's plenty. There's still problems with this. Thank you for helping prove that. Nope. Nope, give me the picture so I can look at it. Bye. Order. Inspector Hasanaga, will you submit the print at once? Aha. Secret pockets. Through the handbag. Photograph of the handbag has been entered into the court. I want to know about that burn on his wrist, because does that mean the plate was excessively hot? Or that he was slammed down onto it? What happened there? Court has now been shown considerable evidence. As the photographer print just submitted to the court appears to have no further significance, I'm satisfied that there's no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. No. 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 That definitely matches. Oh, it's on the other one. That. These match. So what's going on there? Indeed, there is only one logical conclusion. That the pathetic Ruby slumped over on the bench before us is on the only possible perpetrator of this crime. You got this, bud. No. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around. I'm in a worse situation than I was at the start. Oh no, his headband. Kazuma? I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. Ooh, was he poisoned first and then shot to make it look like somebody else did it? I mean, I'm not sure how that would lead to him getting what I assume is burned on the thing. So, like, the plate had to be super hot. But I'm not sure what the reason for that is yet. Other than it's there. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue. What? You mean, this is it? Why is it over? We didn't declare it was over. I still have things. I must say, you put up quite a fight for a rookie student, but the weak are meat, while the strong eat. I've never heard that statement before, but it's neat. Ooh, and it rhymed. You're wasting your time. There's no way to defeat true justice. Ooh, like if the plate was hot and you slumped over onto it and then didn't pull its hand away. The fact that you can chew onto your heart's content from the inside of your cell. This can't be happening. Am I really going to be found guilty for a crime that I didn't commit? And Kazuma, his dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Kazuma. What? Is there really no chance now of turning this trial around? You heard the judge. There's nothing about that last photograph the detective produced that we can contest. Which means there's no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue. There is. Very what now? Well, I will now proceed immediately to the ruling. No, we're going to interrupt you. It seems we'll be able to report to the British government on time after all. No, it's afternoon. You said you were going to do it at noon. That smug little... Ryunosuke, having considered all of the evidence, you whoop, bye-bye. He got his slaps back. Wait, Your Excellency. Ryunosuke? I don't think you can rule on this case yet.
Objection!
This amateurishness is getting tedious. When His Excellency deems that the trial is over, he gives his ruling. That is the most basic protocol of the courtroom.
Yes!
Your Excellency, just a moment ago you said this. As this photographic print, just submitted, appears to have no further significance, there's no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Now that means if there were a problem with the evidence, some significant detail, I mean, then ruling on the case at this time would be out of the question.
Objection!
This is blatant straw clutching. Look at this photographic print. All it shows is the handbag the gentlewoman was carrying on the day in question. There can be no problem with this evidence. There's many problems with that evidence. Better know what you're doing. I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court's scrutiny. However, I feel to see how we can glean any new information from this handbag. It's from the wrist behind the handbag. Really, the prosecution becomes getting tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes. Sir, yes, I am desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. There's something about this photograph which just doesn't seem right. If only I could put my finger on it. Very well, I will grant the defense one final opportunity. What? But be warned that if I am unsatisfied by your response here, the trial will be over with immediate effect. Ooh, we throw in a you get one chance? Do I make myself clear? You guys normally don't throw that until the last trial. So, take another look at this photographic print. Oh no, you do get 5 chances. Me that big boy burn. Yes! Look at this. There's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist. That is true. It looks almost like a burn from some description. Like a burn of some description. That's a statement.
Objection!
Dear me, I was pondering what this new piffle you would come out with. A burn, you say, on the victim's wrist. Clearly, that has nothing to do whatsoever with the magnificent lady's handbag. Yes, that is a burn mark, you're right. Go on. The police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report, except for the fact that it's literally on the plate right next to it. So it happened during all of this. What did I tell you? In that case, we have no idea when the victim suffered this burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either. Bull hooky. The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of this mark. However, as the prosecutor Points out, unless a firm connection to the case can be shown, I cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this burn. English, English, English. Excuse me, Your Excellency. It would seem Miss Brett has a lunch appointment with a dean and other university staff. No, you don't get to just leave again. I'd like to know if she may be excused from the stand now. Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway. At the top. What's your thinking on this? Do you believe this burn has something to do with the case? Yes. To be honest, I'm not really sure. But if I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging in the hope that I might uncover something useful. Yes, you're right. I am? He has no idea what he's doing. If we can just link that burn to the case. If we can do that, we might be able to price this shutting door back open again. Pry? That's not how you spell pry. I know that. Pry is P-R-Y. Just give up, Council. You can't possibly hope to do that. Indeed, I'm afraid that without evidence, you can allow you to pursue what is little more than a conjecture. But if we had evidence in one of the other photos already submitted to evidence that irrefutably linked the burn on the victim's wrist to this case, then would you allow it? I would, yes. Tell the truth, I hadn't noticed that burn. But as soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brett's face. Really? I have to find something to link between that burn and the case. This is the moment of truth. Time to find some evidence that proves that the burn really means. And then the defense will now present this evidence to the court. Hooray! Bump, 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 bump. Yeah, this is the one that has it on it. Right? Yeah. Do I have to? No, I'm just presenting the one thing.
Yes!
What's this, Council? Yet another print? It's the same print. Yes, Your Excellency. I believe photographic prints are an amazing invention. When we humans look at the scene, we miss things. But in the photographs, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded forevermore. Do hurry it up, Rookie. What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further would really be quite inexcusable. Actually, we may need you to stay with us a little longer, if you don't mind, Miss Britt. You see, it's very clearly visible in this other photograph. How did the victim come to have this unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here forevermore. What? How?
Objection!
You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. If that's your game, then let's see how it plays out. Tell the court exactly what you mean. What is in this photograph? It's this thing. I don't know how precise it wants me to be.
Yes!
The beefsteak? Nope, that was not the beefsteak. Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on. The plate? Ah! Your Excellency, are you alright? As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I would guess it's some sort of trademark for Le Carnival. Ah! This emblem on the plate. And the victim's burn are exactly the same. Aha! You genius! They're spot on. Which means The victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant. On a steak he wasn't supposed to be eating. But even if that is the case, we can't know if it happened the day in question or not. Could have been the day before, the day before that. Most likely happened some other unrelated time. Or we should investigate it either way.
Objection!
Thank you, Kazuma. Sadly, prosecutor, the chances of that are extremely slim. Thanks. Why? The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion at the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hasanaga? I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster. Certainly. But... I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, and the defense just pointed out. This was no mild burn, that's for sure. Can you be more specific, Inspector? Well, let's see. If the plate was around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds. 90 degrees centigrade? That's hot. I live in Fahrenheit land, but I know enough to know that's really damn hot. Why would you be serving a plate that hot? That feels wrong. It's inconceivable that the victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain then. I've been investigating the restaurant for several weeks already, but I've not heard anyone scream at all. As the head waiter of La Carnival, I can testify that without hesitation. You're a detective, not a waiter! Exactly, yes. So he'd notice it better. And there you have it, something isn't right here. For those of us in Fahrenheit land, that is 194 degrees? That seems crazy. As the detective said, anyone who burnt themselves on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in vain. No question of that. And yet, Inspector Hasanaga never heard the professor scream, not on that day or any before it. That's right. The strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. What are you suggesting? Well, if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the... if he'd put his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds that day, that would be beyond careless, I think. Then the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antique dealer, all of us, without any question, would have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, prosecutor? I mean, also, if Ryunosuke and the professor had gotten into an argument, I think the other two would have said something, but, you know, we can't believe anything. So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? Because he was dead. I almost don't believe it. Ryunosuke, do you think? He was dead before he was shot. Can it really be true? I never dreamt we'd arrive to a conclusion like this, but I'm starting to think that maybe we've been led into a terrible trap. I think it might be poison. There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of this apparent impossibility. Because the glass that is missing is not her glass, because the glass that is next to the steak is still present. She took the glass because it's the professor's glass, and it has poison in it. That's my thought. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson didn't notice the burn was already deceased. Pinka. No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. That's clearly impossible. apart from one particular situation. Counsel, are you suggesting? Yes, it's only possible if the man was already dead. Already dead? Dot, 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 dot. Knowing what we know now, the only possible explanation. It is. Words. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead. That's madness! I mean, it doesn't have to be when the thing will. I guess it would cool down pretty quick, semi-quickly at least. Explain this absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot. That's right. That's absolutely right. True. I don't know how toxicology is back in these times. This is just another ridiculous ploy by a rookie student. Clearly he has no grasp of the facts.
Objection!
Who's making muttering noises in an empty courtroom? There's actually a gallery hanging out that's further pulled away. So that's where the muttering comes from. No, prosecutor, it's you who has no grasp of the facts. I beg your pardon? As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered that burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that, with my pointing finger, of justice? Your Excellency, the court must hear from this witness again. If it's true, as we now believe, that the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard, it's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it. Incredible. We certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett, that you will have to forget your luncheon engagement. But, Your Excellency. The judge is totally here for the drama. This justice system in our court may be in its infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I'm prepared to pass judgment. Mage, be nice to Gem. Stop waving your cookies in her face. Da, da, da. Your little smile mask. What was that smile? Yes, of course. I mean, I'd be delighted. Oh, so now she's just speaking Japanese. No intensive accent or anything. Especially if that helps relations between my country and yours. So what I'm hearing is that you're a butthole. You speak Japanese? Well, of course I do. I'm studying in your country, after all. But then, why have you been speaking through an interpreter until now? The amount of auto mods I just got from you guys. That's hilarious. I love you guys. That's great. As a gentlewoman, I've tried to avoid speaking in her vulgar tones as much as possible. Blah, blah, blah. She was speaking the Queen's English because it's great. We missed one because I was too busy allowing automods through. Ma'am, but it seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicating with you all on your own level. Oh, well, you are the epitome of true English gentlewoman. We are truly honored by this lavish consideration you so graciously afford us. see. In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson. We're finally going to hear her own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting, Ryunosuke. Witness testimony. The victim's quotation mark death. Unfortunately, I have no idea the poor man burned his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses to in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report shows no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway. Ma'am, it's like you're trying to out yourself. That most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in Supreme Court's history. Thank you. Guys, I think she did it. Easy does it. Hope this is the last time that I'll have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. Ma'am, that's real rude. Oh, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone. Not at all, not at all. It is a delight merely to hear you speak, dear lady. Seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant. It's not. I will be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today. After we get you put in the jail, sure. The Minister of Justice? May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Amen. Thanks. That a prayer then? Well, you'll have to forgive the irritation, Miss Brett, and put up with a cross-examination now. Except you've noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much. Oh, the things were on the screen again. So good at this. I don't need to remind you, counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination in this trial. Fail to demonstrate any problems in this witness's testimony. I mean, we don't know it's the final one. I could find more things. I'll be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear? Okay. That was some good animation, though. Yes, Your Excellency. You may proceed with cross-examination. Alright, so my question is, do we have toxicology reports? Is that a thing? I have no idea when he burnt his hand. The waiter brought my steak, and they raised your glass to toast. As far as I've heard, the postmortem report showed no other possible cause of death. There's some other way. This is the one I wanted to. This country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyways. How do you know if we have toxicology? I don't know if we have toxicology, but I'm also a dum-dum. So let's press.
Yes!
Inferior? What do you mean by that? In the land of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at the crime scene later for examination. But in this country, you investigate once and that's the end of it. Isn't that so? That doesn't seem good. Quite right. La Caravel is open for business as usual today, just days after the incident. Exactly, that means even if the investigation takes a different direction... Ooh, what was that? Vital evidence may be lost. He said wait and the controller vibrated, so I assume that means something. Doesn't even occur with your naive detectives to try to preserve. It didn't even occur for them to preserve the evidence. I'm going to try and be tactful about this as I can, you understand. Is he being poisoned too? Ooh. Does he maybe not just have the TB? He's been poisoned slowly but surely. Aha, killer blow! Amazing, he's actually admitting to our police maybe flaws. Perhaps prosecutor is finally starting to see sense. I very much doubt that. Still, there's something about what Miss Brett just said. There was a moment before when something didn't quite seem right. I'm just supposed to... What do you think? I think he's going terribly. No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new information. But he did something. She's a tough witness. We need to find a way to break her testimony, or the cross-examination will be over. But that would mean I have to find a way. There must be some clue there to help us put a chink in her armor. Kazuma. What, Ryunosuke? There is one thing I noticed. Something that's been bothering me. Bothering me? You mean about Miss Brett? Actually, no. About this boy. About the person standing next to her. The detective? Yes, he seemed to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I was wondering if it might be significant. If it might present an opening, maybe. Alright, I have an idea. Try pressing her on that last statement one more time. I think so, but this time, instead of targeting the woman herself, see what we can get out of the detective. Alright then. Alright. Alright, so then we go to the last statement. And we press it.
Yes!
Inferior? What do you mean by that? Alright, so it goes fast because we've already read it once. But I think we're just waiting for him to go, wait! Quite right. Yep.
Wait.
That one. Let me do something. Yes, there it is again. Detective's reaction is just the same as before. Why? Not because it's a video game. Up until now, the detective has been in the stand with Miss Brett as her interpreter. But things are very different now. For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the Englishwoman has to say. This could be a golden opportunity. What do you mean? When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful not to let anything slip. However, when they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find they often let their guard down. You're right, look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts. So is this game going to be about dual witnessing? Time to pursue the man and his train of thought. Sorry? Pursue? I'll explain how to do it now. It's all to do with the witness marker. They all see this thought bubble. What marker? At the moment, we're focused on Miss Brett, who is the person actually making the current statement. But by moving the marker left and right with these buttons, you can turn your attention to other people in the stand. While you're looking at other witnesses, you'll be able to pursue them with A. If you can catch the person at just the right time, you might uncover some new information to pursue. If you ever notice a strange atmosphere amongst the people on the stand, take a good look around. Okay, that's definitely just going to be a thing. Alright then, so first I should move the marker across and focus on the detective, then pursue him with A. Here we go!
Wait.
Alright, let me do the thing. Excuse me! What's the meaning of this? You okay? I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to shock you. It really lost in its thoughts deeply. Like you were thinking something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had said to say? If there's something you'd like to say, please share it with the court.
Objection!
Not sure this is how cross-examinations work. What's the meaning of this? It's a delightful Englishwoman who's testifying at the moment. And he's also on the stand, though. If you can't find a fault in her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over immediately. Oh, is that how it works? Absolutely not. The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness. I mean, yeah. Yes, not to mention the fact that he's intimately involved in the case. Inspector Hasanaga. Yes? You have something to add in relation to the statement made by Miss Brett? I love the little slaps. The little slaps are my favorite. Well, yes, if you don't mind, I would like to speak. She's put the mask on. The lady is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain. Which is why I, Hasanoga, always strive to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless. What do you really mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. Preserving evidence, you see. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I will not be ashamed of what I've done. Do you keep it in your house or do you keep it at the police station? There's difference. Crime scene thief? Well, it looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there. Take this, for example. A bottle of water. This is the bottle of carbonated water that I took to the victim's table on the day in question. And yes, it's lost all of its fizz, having been opened for 3 days ago now. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, there's something left in the bottle. I can see it. One day our police force will be among the best in the world. Time is coming. I guarantee it. Ooh, has he been drinking some of that water? Court will accept the glass of bottle of water as evidence. You just drink a little? And that's why he's been coughing up blood? Brett. Can you confirm this is indeed the bottle from which you drank on that day? Yes, it was that bottle. What's that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question. Very well, counsel. You may resume your cross-examination. And the inspector will kindly control his horror. Alright, that's not a new statement. I assume we got a new statement or something. I've heard the postmortem report should— ooh, wait. There's some other way the man's life can be taken without leaving a trace. Please do show me. Examine this maybe? On the victim's table. Alright, what we got going on here? Labels written in foreign language that I don't recognize. You know what it says? I think it's French. Must be very expensive water. But what does it say? That's what I was asking. Then go to France and ask. Okay. You could just say that you don't know. Yes. This carbonated water is the last drink Dr. Wilson ever had. Looks like there's a little left in the bottle, although it's just plain water now. You know, I've been sweating so much, I'm absolutely parched. I'll just have a sip of this to keep me going. No, that's evidence. For one thing, that's evidence. You can't go drinking evidence. Oh no, you're right. We don't know what might be inside, do we? Never cease to amaze me. More ways than one. I wonder. Could there be anything in this water? What's the matter? You've gone quiet all of a sudden. I think I might have just worked something out. An interesting possibility. Alright, so now I should present it because they've thought of it.
Yes!
What is this? The bottle of water? Actually, there's one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind. Obviously, I'm referring poison. Poison? On the day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from his bottle of carbonated water. Could it be that there was poison inside? Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from his glass? There was a dippy shake. I didn't realize the mic picked that up. Order. Get the big slaps back. On that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor and able to slip poison into his drink? There's only one person who could have possibly done that. It was you!
Objection!
This is outrageous to suggest such a thing without a scrap of evidence. I mean, we have the scrap of evidence in our hands. It's in the bottle. Have you even considered the delicate situation our country finds itself in now? Have you forgotten that we only just signed an accord of friendship with the British Empire? Have you even the vaguest inkling of your rash accusations could jeopardize the entire treaty?
Objection!
This is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine one individual's guilt with respect to one crime. Well, the fact that this woman's British makes no difference. We're here to determine the truth. Ahem, if I may. I will silence you forever for this whoop. It is you who should be silent. Of course. Dear lady. Where did that come? She just snapped. Want to see her snapped face? I'm afraid I may have spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apologies. Sorry, my lady, what are you referring? I described your police force as inferior. But no matter how inferior they may be, you still investigated this particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector, and whether it contained poison or not. He drank it. But should you not be questioning why you've been coughing up blood for days? You did? Have you forgotten what my guiding principle is already? I strive for a flawless investigation every time. I don't believe it. Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents. And? What did you find, Inspector? I ordered a test for every toxin that's available in this country at the present time. But they have foreign stuff. I could find no trace of any description in the bottle of carbonated water. No poison. What? Are you sure? The tests were meticulously carried out by the chief of coroner himself. No. No! He is from England. It could be a thing that is not from Japan, because, you know, they have very different stuff in between the two countries. They're very different regions, even. You've successfully established my complete innocence to this horrid affair. Thank you. But of course, my dear lady, the pleasure was all ours. I was so sure. This can't be right. Everything falls into place if he was poisoned. Thank you, counsel. I think that cross-examination has clarified everything. As the prosecution has asserted, a shot from the chest from this gun is the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, by his own admission, was holding this weapon, the only possible culprit. I'm done for. Oh no, wait. The professor dude's gonna come in to save the day because he sent the lady to go get something that he thought we would need, that he wasn't going to bring unless what's-his-face, our friend Kazuma, said he wasn't gonna go if we didn't win. I feel like that's gonna be what's about to happen just now. Oh no, I'm just glad the matter is resolved. Before proceeding, I must ask the counsel for the defense. Do you have any further new evidence to present the court at this point? Our poor boy. Kazuma. I'm so sorry. I have nothing more. Well, if you excuse me now, I really must be leaving.
Hold it!
Haha! That was a lady voice, which means... Aha! I win. Please wait. Isn't that? What is the meaning of this? Forgive me for intruding upon court proceedings, Your Excellency. Judicial Assistant of the Defense. Mikotaba. In my darkest hour, with nowhere left to go, she appeared like a bolt of lightning. And in her hand, she carried a small package. Wrapped in, that is a lunchbox cloth. I don't remember how to say it. I know that's the cloth you wrap around bento boxes and whatnot. To be continued. Alright, normally, I'd leave y'all on a cliffhanger. But maybe we long stream tonight? Maybe we do a longer stream tonight? Because I want to know what happens. Yes, please, long stream. Ooh, okay. There doesn't seem to be a split vote on this. Long stream, go. Courtroom 2. Oh, she got some cute boots. Well, I understand you are the judicial assistant of the defense, but why the sudden ingress into my courtroom? Ah, a judicial assistant? A woman, no less. You can get bent. The rules state that females are not permitted into this court of law other than to testify. Yes, I fully understand. I ask only for 5 minutes of time. I have some vital evidence that I must hand over to the defense. Aha! You're too late, little girl. The trial has already been concluded. I mean, no. 5 minutes. I will not allow a moment more. Good judge. But, Your Excellency... I'm most grateful. Now we got 3 people in our box. Who are you exactly? Sorry, there's no time. Please simply accept this for now. What's this? A report about something. Written in English. Brett's research. The Englishwoman's? After the trial resumed earlier, I hurried back to the university. I went to Dr. Wilson's laboratory in the medical facility and borrowed his paper. Oh yes, that's right. Miss Brett was studying under the professor, wasn't she? So, does this research, whatever it is, have something to do with the case? But it's about poisons. Or English things that aren't available in Japan. I'm afraid I don't know. I haven't been able to listen to the proceedings of the trial myself. Oh, no, of course not. Special characteristics of character and its effects on human subjects. Rare? I don't know what that is. What is that? I've never heard that word before. Somebody else! Time's up. The prosecution demands for the immediate removal of this female trespasser in the courtroom. Kurere? Rere? I'm gonna assume it's Kurere. There was too little time for me to read it in detail, but I've surmised what I could on the note just inside the cover. I think it could be valuable. Please cast your eyes over it. This is wonderful, thank you. The report has been entered into the court record. Kurere. Goodbye then, and good luck. It paralyzes and can cause death? Well, damn. Okay, Raven with the knowledge over here. Another Sherlock Holmes reference, I think. Gosh darn it, of course. I mean, it's fair. This game is half English-based. As the prosecution of the defense, now one last time. Either side have any further evidence to present to the court? I presume not, but boy do we! Prosecution has made its case convincingly enough already. Nothing more to add, Your Excellency. We're out of options here. This really is our very last chance. You read a lot of mysteries. Yes, I know. Blam! Your Excellency, the defense does have new evidence. That look. The unyielding stare of a true Japanese warrior. Well? Yes, Your Excellency? If you wouldn't mind, perhaps you could grace us with your presence a little longer? It's a delightful invitation, but I'm afraid it's not so very long until tea time. I'd have to politely decline. Forgive me, Miss Brett. It seems I wasn't clear. I realize it was phrased as a question, however, I must ask you to treat that as an order. I've said it many times before, but the Japanese language makes no sense. English also makes no sense, so we're fine. Oh, counsel. What is this new evidence that demands the court's attention? I'm gonna examine it real quick. Poison made from the bark of certain trees in the jungles of South America. The hunters of the region have used it since ancient times to incapacitate their prey. Effects: instant paralysis on the entire body and subsequent death, even in minute doses. Route of entry: the above-mentioned effects occur when poison enters the body through a wound, such as inflicted by a blowpipe dart. Due to its ability to render the human body paralytic, it is believed that the toxin could have application as an anesthetic. However, the situation for the respiratory arrest caused as a result of the full body paralysis must be found first, or parents would die of suffocation. Or patients, not parents. Wow, would die of suffocation. All right, present this bad boy. We understand you were studying under Dr. Wilson at Yume University, doing research. research, by sheer coincidence perhaps, into a deadly poison. What? Poison? Where are you going with this, Council? A toxin known as Carreri that I might be butcherizing still, but that's fine, we're getting close. Even the slightest amount of this deadly poison entering the body leads to instant death.
Objection!
What a complete and utter nonsense. Carreri, you say? I've never heard of it. Ooh, I wonder. I mean, she took the glass, so I think it was through the water. But did she needle him and then burn him to cover up the needle mark? Is that why he got burned? Or did he just slump forward? Curious. Is it through the water or is it through a needle mark she covered up? Look, if they wanted you to know how to pronounce them, they should have had the game fully voice acted. Instead, you guys are stuck with me, who doesn't know words good, so have fun. Gotta be the water. I also feel like it's gotta be the water. What do you mean? I mean that you wouldn't have heard of Carreri before because one very simple reason. From South America. It doesn't exist in our country. It doesn't exist? Correct. Which means, no matter what tests the police can do for toxins, they'd never identify it. Why? Because there is no test available here that can identify the presence of a highly deadly poison. This highly deadly poison. Why? What I don't get was, it wasn't even the guy's own steak, he only had water. How do you get burned on a plate from across the table? I mean, same, very hard same question, but he's sitting at the place that has the steak. So why was he sitting there? I'm sure we're gonna get into it on like how they swap seats for some reason. But we'll see. Council, does this deadly poison truly exist? According to this report authored by the visiting research student from England, Carreri has long been used by the tribespeople of South America as a poison to lace their arrows. Seems that reasonably well known among European doctors and scientists. To lace their arrows? The report states that it is produced from the extract of a tree that grows deep in the Amazonian jungle. It was first brought back to Europe at the turn of the century by explorers. Claims that animals shot by arrows laced with Carreri suffer instant death. Doesn't that about sum it up, Miss Brett?
Objection!
Trumpery. These aspirations are utter trumpery. What's trumpery? Why does it feel so fitting? To start with, if the victim had been administered some of the so-called deadly poison, he would have been squirming and writhing in pain, and other diners would have surely noticed. I mean, no. Says instantly, dum-dum. That's true. What do you have to say to that, Inspector? Obviously, I would not have noticed a disturbance, or I would have noticed a disturbance like that. I don't remember anything like that either. I didn't notice the professor being in any kind of pain. It's also a paralytic. Yep, like instantaneous paralytic. Literally said, no. However, according to this, however, it's the other way around. What do you mean, the other way around? The very fact that the victim didn't show any signs of distress is evidence that Carreri was used. Explain yourself, Council. The moment this toxin enters a person's system, it causes instant paralysis. Look at our little boy studying back there. In other words, afflicted victims lose all their strength and are completely unable to move. Even if they were in total agony, there would be no visible signs of pain at all. How terrible. Obviously, if a man lost all strength in his muscles, he'd be collapsed on the floor. But with a chair under him for support, as Dr. Wilson did, the effects could go largely unnoticed. But I don't follow, Kazuma. That's just paralysis. I thought the poison caused instant death. The full explanation is extremely unpleasant. The poison causes immediate paralysis, as I said, leaving the victim unable to move. Ooh, or could he not move? But after a short time, the paralysis is so severe it causes the muscles that control respiration to fail. Respiration, breathing. In other words, the actual cause of death is suffocation. And all the while, the victim is conscious and aware, just unable to move. That's hideous. So to use that as an anesthetic would also be awful, because from the sounds of it, like, you still feel the pain, you just can't move. To the observer, it would look almost like the victim was slipping peacefully into an endless sleep. But for the victim himself, his final moments would be a living hell. That is the true nature of this deadly poison. Is it freak out time? You're suggesting that this bottle council actually contains this terrifying poison?
Objection!
That or the cup? This isn't very convenient, is it? A hitherto unknown poison for which there is no means of testing? What a happy tale of defense. Ahem, if I may. All these facts? Oh, she's gonna flip. It's you who must be taught. Of course. Dear lady. So this is how you Japanese behave, is it? What? You steal another's honest work and then announce the results as if you've discovered them. I'm appalled. What a loathsome act. I mean, we literally said it was by you. Well, Miss Brett, the feeling is mutual. Whatever do you mean? Capitalizing on the unfortunate circumstances of an innocent man to frame him for a heinous crime. It really is a loathsome act. Wouldn't you agree?
Objection!
Enough of this. I, for one, refuse to accept it. The idea of some poison that doesn't even exist in the great empire of Japan is breaking the rules. That's not how that works. Haha. What's so funny? Oh, excuse me, Your Excellency. Yes, Miss Brett. May I borrow that bottle for a moment, please? Well, yes, I don't see, just gonna drink out of it. It was in the cup. Don't get a bit too big for your boots, you insignificant little island boys. Oh boy. Sorry. To an Englishwoman such as myself, this whole affair is a farcical comedy. Your little police games and these foolish court romantics, it's laughable, really. But I'm getting bored of it all now. Time for the games to end. Here's... Look at this animation. What are you doing? I mean, it's not in there, that's why. It's in the glass. Why she took the glass. No sparkle left at all. How appropriate for this shabby affair. It was either in the glass or back to... That's maybe why she burned him. Was to cover up a dart that maybe she had hidden in the swan or something. I don't know. Whatever is the matter? You all looked quite stunned. But it's probably the glass, which is why she took it. The bottle was clean. Is that what you're saying? Could we stuff that swan down someone's throat? Her throat? You look quite incredulous, little boy, but of course... That's the simple truth. Thank you for presenting the findings of my research so concisely here in this grand venue, most kind. Thank you, waiter. Now then, Your Excellency? Yes, Miss Brett? I should like to be excused now, please. I think I've given more than enough of my time. For the furtherance of friendship between our countries. Yes, dear lady. We're most gratified with all the assistance you have given. This doesn't make sense. There had to have been poison in that bottle. So how? How did she... Wait a sec. Wait a sec. Thought is occurring real quick. It said it had to be through a wound, right? I've been thinking about this way too convolutedly. I got stuck on the poison dart arrow. The professor had a wound in his mouth from a tooth removal. I doubt she has a wound in her mouth. Does it not do anything if it doesn't go through a wound? Or do you just end up bloody coughing like the waiter, maybe? Thought has occurred. How does she swallow a whole glass and live to tell the tale? I don't understand it. Well, I suppose if nothing else, this little Far Eastern charade, it needs to be broken. Yeah. See, that's why I was sitting here being like, maybe they used a dart and then we burned him to cover up the dart. No, the burn is just from paralysis. But he had an open wound in his mouth because he had a tooth removed. And that is directly into the bloodstream for several days. So, haha. And it had literally been an hour before that he got it removed. So it was a gaping open wound. There has to have been poison in that bottle. But there can't have been. Because otherwise she would have keeled over dead. You could also be about to go vomit it out. We have all the clues now. That bottle of water. I'm leaning hard into this idea it contains poison. Aha. Whoop. I think we're good. Gopher did put curare poison into Dr. Wilson's carbonated water. The defense refuses to change its position. You're serious?
Objection!
Should have taken the doctor's order and not drank anything. Was that part of the doctor's orders, or did it say he could drinking anything but water? So he was allowed to drink, technically. There's no possible way the bottle could contain poison. I mean, we just saw Miss Brett drinking the water from it. That's right, which rather complicates your argument, I think. I believe the complications can be explained. How exactly? I need to think through all the things that don't quite add up here, one by one. I'm sure the answer is in the evidence we have in the courtroom somewhere. It has to be. Alright. I must ask why you support this agitation with evidence. Who explains how the witness was able to consume this supposedly poisoned water unscathed? Do I present her report, maybe? Or am I presenting... I think I'm presenting the report, because that states... through a wound. So I think I have to do this first. This talks about the wound, and then we'll present the medical thing to be like, this is how he has a wound. That's a good sign. Yep, we're good. Okay. The answer to this riddle is right here in Miss Brett's own research report.
Attention!
That's not a valid explanation. No. After all, we don't speak English. That report is utter gibberish. This impudent young scoundrel is trying to ridicule the court, Your Excellency. I mean, literally, we have a dude who's up on the stand who could speak it, so more than likely he can also kind of read it. I'm not trying to ridicule anyone, honest. I was just reading the notes. This report is too extensive to be considered in its entirety by the court. You would direct us to the pertinent section. That's what, the second page? Special characteristics. We've been hearing a lot about this curare poison. And it's left me curious about something. Oh? Well, it sounds as though indigenous hunters have been using this poison for years and years. To lace the heads of arrows that they shoot at whatever prey they're hunting. So we've been led to believe, yes. And the point of the hunting is to catch prey to eat. Ah, that's another good point. They're eating it after poisoning it. How is that safe? That open wound. What if they use that? What if they were to use laced arrows? Doesn't that mean that there would be traces of poison left in the prey that the hunters were going to eat? Yes, good point. So surely the hunters wouldn't want to eat their prey, would they? Because then they'd be eating poison. Good gracious. No, that would be madness. But I actually found the answer to that conundrum in this research paper here. How did people figure that out? Like, if I stick this in a wound, it kills it. But I can still eat it afterwards. That's fine. Under special characteristics, it says this. Poison starts to work after entering the body through a wound. Through a wound, you say? I see, that makes sense. Yes, the mention of that particular detail seemed a little strange to me, though. Lots of ancient people died to let's find out that's why. I know, it's always just so interesting to me that, like, it's just like, this thing just kept happening and they were like, yeah, no, this works. Somebody just died? We'll one off that error. But it makes sense when you interpret what's written like this. When it enters through an open wound, it has terrifying poisonous effects. However, when it enters the body via the mouth, it has no poisonous effects whatsoever. Miss Brett, you authored this research. You knew the special characteristics, and you knew that you could make a spectacle out of drinking the water without any danger to yourself. You meddling little... Are you gonna have your break? She is. Wait, I'm sorry. Why did the swan flap open? That's not what I was expecting. Turns out, you're even better lawyer than I thought you'd be. Really? Me? A lawyer?
Objection!
Well, this poison talk is fascinating, I'm sure. But I see... Oh, okay. Look how long the mask is now. Oh, I get it. Mask because the swan mask. Because swans have a mask. The ill-bred little puppy has a new toy to play with. The facts he read about in a book. Stop looking at me, Swan. But I'm afraid the knowledge doesn't suit you, little boy. It only makes you look silly. What are you trying to say? Your schoolboyish logic has a fatal flaw. Schoolboyish? Flaw? Even your brain has managed to deduce curare is safe to ingest. Seems likely that its effects are neutralized by the acidic nature of the gastric succus. Oh yes, well, of course. Gastric suckers? What are they? So if this lethal poison is completely harmless when drunk, the professor wouldn't have died when he swallowed it, would he? No. Do surgery. That's right. Good gracious. That's basic science. Science that even a schoolboy should be able to understand, no? Order in the court. The logic holds. If the lady professor drank the same poison, they would be affected in the same way. Are you trying to suggest? Yes, this curare poison is completely irrelevant to the case on trial. That's right. Surely even a little cockroach like you would understand something as simple as that. Angie. What is this? Welling up inside me. The desire to choke someone. Never felt like this before. A sort of conviction to break down all discrepancies. It's so intense. Almost rage-like. And more than anything else, it's an animalistic desire to take down my prey. He's pointing. He said objection. I don't think so. How dare you use that tone with me? You know very well that this is no fatal flaw here. You know exactly why. Even though both you and the victim swallowed the same poison. You were alive, but Dr. Wilson is dead. Counsel, I'm sure I don't need to remind you. You must provide compelling evidence. As we now know that this poison is completely harmless when ingested. Why would Dr. Wilson alone have been killed by the curare? Because of this thing!
Take that!
Also, Miss Brett so readily pointed out, she drank the same water as the professor. However, there was a fundamental and fatal difference between the two diners. Fatal difference? Toxic effects of the curare are only felt when the poison enters the body through an open wound. So for a healthy person with no injuries, drinking it is completely harmless. But what if there was a wound inside the mouth of the person drinking in the poisoned water? Inside? Yes, like the wound you might have if you had just been to the dentist and had a tooth extracted, for example. Ah! Miss Brett, you've acknowledged many times with your testimony already that you were well aware of Dr. Wilson's dental appointment that day. Ah. So that's it. You used that knowledge to orchestrate this. She actually gonna break this time instead of just swan opening? Laughing? I don't like to repeat myself, but honestly, I can't resist. These childish courtroom games and your half-baked arguments are also... Nope. What do you mean? Don't worry, little schoolboy, you'll find out soon enough. You see, when you leave vital evidence lying around, you might not know what might happen to it. I mean, if she's about to break it, like, doesn't that just further make her look extremely guilty? I mean, it could just slip. Oh dear, how careless of me. I'm afraid some crucial evidence may have just been tragically destroyed. Collect up as much of the water from the broken bottle at once. You're wasting your time. This delightful carpet under my feet here was a gift from the British Empire. I assure you, it will soak up the water beautifully. You've neither the technology nor the presence of mind to recover it. Ahaha. You should be arrested for destroying evidence, yes. You won't get away with this. But there's no way to prove she did it purposefully, even though she very clearly did it purposefully. You can thump the bench and shout as much as you like, little boy. But I'm afraid we'll never know, will we? There really was poison in the bottle, or not. Ooh. And let us not forget, we still have some very compelling evidence left intact. Isn't that right, counsel for the prosecution? Oh, of course, of course. You're referring to this photographic print, I presume, my dear. That's right, and really, looking at this photograph, it's as clear as day, isn't it? The poor professor was sitting with his back to me. So, of course, the only person who could have shot him in the front was the little schoolboy.
Objection!
No, you killed the victim that day. And then in order to frame Ryunosuke for the crime, you waited until he picked up the pistol you'd arranged for him to find on the floor. Or you shot the professor's dead body in the chest with your own hidden gun. Then in the confusion that followed, all you had to do was turn the dead professor in his chair around. You see? You have every opportunity to commit this crime. What a wonderful imagination you have, young man. Hidden gun, you say, but I shot the professor's dead body, did I? Well, I'm terribly sorry, but you don't have a shred of evidence. Exactly. As you have nothing to support your wild claims, the prosecution's stance remains unchanged. The victim, Dr. John H. Wilson, was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Delivered in cold blood by the accused Ryunosuke. This is unbelievable. How can this be happening? We had her, but how now? Is she really gonna get away with it? The way she destroyed that evidence was obscene. We've come this far, but now you're the only one who can finish it. What? What do you mean? We've lost a vital piece of evidence. It's true. If there are any clues left for us to use now, they must be in your head. That's weird. In my head? You told me before that your powers of observation were the one thing you could really depend upon. Well, yes, that's true, but I didn't manage to notice that this woman was foreign with a swan on her head. Think back again now. Try to remember every last detail about the scene that day. Everything you saw, everything you felt, every color, every smell. Ooh, are we gonna get colors? Photo colors? Because, I mean, the game can't give me smells. But if they could give me colors, that might help. What I saw, what I felt. Every color. What are we doing? Look, there's magically blood now. Hooray! This is what it feels like to be colorblind, because it was on a brown thing. Was I right? Somewhere in the vibrant memory of the same scene in my head. Could there be another clue to expose the identity of Dr. Wilson's character? There's a clue, sure! Actually... I think I might have something. Thinking back over everything I saw, I think I might have uncovered another clue. Which the investigator did say he has all the pieces, so we can just be like, give us the plate, dude. You always have something up your sleeve, don't you? Come on then, let's wipe the smug smile off that Englishwoman's face with some evidence. Alright, I can't wait. Been bothering me for a while that something feels amiss in the memories of that day. Whatever it is could be the key to arriving to the truth about all this. It's here somewhere, the clue that shows who the real killer must have been. Wait. Why is there blood? He's not bleeding. We only know one person who's bleeding in this courtroom. Happening here? Wait a minute. Your waiter? He's still miles away, probably thinking about that bottle being smashed. As you've said a number of times now, you strive for perfection in your investigations, don't you? Absolutely. I wonder, therefore, if perhaps you took anything else from the scene of the crime. Like, for instance, the plate of steak that you took to the victim's table that day.
Objection!
Wait a minute, where are you going with that? Where are you going with this, little boy? It's just a memory that's been troubling me. What memory? The scene shown in this photographic print with my own eyes that day. What I saw on the wooden base of the plate was that the steak was served on was a splatter of blood. What? Was this a joint killing? Because the only person who's been doing anything bloody has been the other boy, and we're not going to usually throw in a detail of somebody coughing up blood for no reason. Obviously, that must have happened when you shot the professor. No, because it didn't go all the way through. No, that can't be the case. Take a good look at the photograph and the relative position of everything there. Plate of steak is almost directly behind the victim. If I'm supposed to have shot Dr. Wilson in the chest from the front, there's no way the blood of the victim could have ended up directly behind him. Ah! Yes. For the blood to have made it onto the plate, it implies that the plate was between the victim and the shooter. Which means the shooter must have been sitting opposite the professor, as it were. I beg your pardon?
Objection!
This is beyond ridiculous. Fabricated nonsense.
Hold it!
This could be the moment that my entire career in the police force has been leading to. You have the plate with blood on it? I took the plate in the interest of preserving the evidence from the crime scene. I took it, meat and all. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. You did what? Take the steak you had been eating, Miss Brett. I took the steak with the sergeant had been eating. I did it all in the name of justice. Then we can find out for sure if there's a blood stain on Miss Brett's plate. We must examine it now. And not let her near the goddamn thing, please. Does he just have it all in a bag at his feet? Sorry for the delay. Oh, he went and got it. Here's what you ordered. The steak. Well, what about the blood? The blood on it? Quickly, Inspector, the blood man! Show the court! Of course, I mean, what? Alright, so it looks like it's been wiped away. No blood. Did blood drip onto it? Into the little recess where the hot thing went? I know I saw it, I'm sure of it. Right there on the table behind the professor, there was blood on the side of the plate. Hee. What an unbecoming expression, little boy. Swan's back out. You see, this is why I've always said you can't trust what the Japanese tell you. Couldn't agree more. In this case, it's disgrace to the Empire. I believe we may have finally reached a conclusion in this trial. No, you said I could examine it. Let me examine it. Let's hope so. Let's pretend to attempt at courtroom proceedings is painful to watch. But I do promise my best to forget all about it when it's over. Oh, touch it. Ah, this sorry-looking steak reveals the facts that are all too clearly. The sorry-looking accused witness wishes to examine its end. Be my guest. Ah, there's your downfall. Hooray! What's the play I saw, or thought I saw? Just a figment of my imagination. Let me flip it about! Reno's cat. It's not over yet. Not until the final gavel. Never stop believing in yourself. Keep looking forward, no matter what. Believe in myself? Really? Maybe I should at least examine the evidence for myself. Supposed to do it. What the hell? Things I didn't expect when clicking on the plate. What in the world is this? I think Koban coin. So this is the coin that went missing. No, I don't mean what is it. I mean, what's that doing here? This isn't the professor's plate. This is the military dude's plate because he stole the coin. Put it under his steak. Wait, did you say it was Koban? Yep, apart from the meat juices, it looks to be in good condition. I imagine it's very valuable. This isn't the first time today that there's been talk of a coin. I heard of pearls of swine, but I've never heard of bullion in... Bullion in bullion? I don't think you ever will again. This is extraordinary, though. This means... Alright, so now I have to wait for the court to let me present that. Oh, I should have just waited like 3 seconds. The blood stain was gonna cinch the trial for me. Can this plate of steak reveal the other clues? Your Excellency, please wait. Plate of beef is hiding another clue. And it's a clue that will reveal the shocking truth. The only thing that's shocking here is your unhealthy fascination with beefsteak. I think I've made myself clear, haven't I? I will not be able to turn a blind eye to any more unnecessary procrastination in this trial. I'm sorry, Miss Brett, but we must ensure a thorough examination of the evidence. Good judge. I will not give a ruling until I'm completely satisfied that all reasonable doubt has been dispelled. I see. As a newly affirmed ally to my country, that's still your position, is it? Thank you, Your Excellency. Counsel for the defense, you will now clearly show the court what you are eluding. Be found under the beef. Huh? I've already done this part. Man, what's it doing there? Wait. No, we've literally already read this. Keep clicking. Just keep clicking. Keep. Coin. I'm assuming it should be coin. I certainly never expected to find a precious coin underneath this thick gut of meat. Are you thinking of eating it? No, but the next time we order steak in expensive restaurants, there's one thing for sure. My heart's gonna be racing as I lift up the meat to peer underneath for a prize. Oh my. Alright, so I should present said coin. Ta-da! Oh gracious, that's... Koban? What on earth? Miss Brett, this is in fact the beefsteak you ordered at the restaurant the day in question, is it? Tell me, why is there an old coin seemingly hidden underneath the meat?
Shut up!
What a ridiculous question! How should I know? I've never seen that thing before in my life. I don't know what this is, but I want no part of it.
Objection!
Fail to see how this is relevant. A coin under the meat? That could simply have been a careless mistake by the chef in the moment of distraction. Yeah, sure.
Objection!
Who has these just casually laying around? No one. You're supposed to believe this happened by accident in the kitchen? A rare coin just happens to be underneath a piece of steak? If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll rip my ticket to Great Britain up right now. He's right, this can't be a coincidence. Your Excellency. Rare Koban just happens to be underneath that piece of steak? This turns out to be irrelevant to the case. I'll give up my lawyer job right now.
Objection!
By all means, don't let us stop you. No one invited you anyway.
Shut up!
Perhaps, little boy, you should realize that this is it is you who is irrelevant. Even though I'm the one on trial here. The point is, it's essentially that we ask the owner of this coin if he can explain what it's doing under that steak. The owner? Yes, it's obvious. There's only one person it can belong to. The owner of the koban that was found underneath the beefsteak is... Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun.
Take that!
Obviously, it can only be an antiques dealer and owner of Rasute, as in Mr. Cucumber something. Honestly, these ridiculous Japanese are quite infallible. Yours isn't as much better. The old man who testified earlier alongside the military surgeon, correct? Yes, Your Excellency. I remember saying that he was up to something with his koban coin when it happened. At exactly the moment the gun was fired. Gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Busy on the floor? Sorry, but what were you doing? Hunting for treasure. Indeed! My prized coin! You mean to tell me?
Objection!
No, please, why would his coin be sandwiched between the victim's beefsteak and its plate.
Yes!
Which is why I'm asking to bring him back to the witness stand so we can ask him. Officer, bring in both witnesses that testified earlier back in here. Why do we need both? I mean, I guess so that one can be like, haha, I put it under my steak. Dirt. Can't believe we come back around to that pair again. Who just perjured the hell out of themselves. But I have a hunch, a strong hunch. But if we chase down the real significance of this Koban, we'll find that it's a key element to the case. We're probably gonna see the baby again. Oh my god, do we have 4 on the stand at once? No, stop it! What is happening? What's this all about? Why have I been called up again? Don't you realize it's time for a little baby? When my son's belly is empty, he's fiercer than a pack of wolves. Seems to be having fun with his pinwheel. Ordered by the police, we were like miserable dogs forced to bear false witness. And when cast from this courtroom myself, I became a ruined man. In a trice, a worthless, withered antique. Nothing more I have to say. The sun has set on this shop owner's existence. Be that as may, something has come to light that requires your clarification. As far as your prosute memory. Ah! Okay. Ah! 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 The knife is in his foot. Ah! That's his coin. Hooray. Can't be. As I thought. Young man! Like this decrepit old fool. Put me out of my misery. Where was my treasure? Where was it dropped? I'm not sure if it was dropped anywhere. Found your coin sandwiched between a beefsteak and its plate, soaking in the seasoned meat juices. Sandwich? Soaking? Seriously? Clearly, it couldn't have fallen there by accident. Means somebody must have hidden it there on purpose. Somebody concealed my treasure between a slab of meat and a metal plate? Gonna murder. Who would do such a thing? Such an unconscionable thing. Excuse me. Could I say something? Yes, of course. Proceed, Inspector. I mentioned this earlier in the trial, but I was working undercover in the restaurant in order to investigate another case. Yes, that's right. A secret undercover operation. High-class Western cuisine restaurant. It attracts wealthy diners, including many foreigners. Recently, there's been a run of similarly executed thefts, targeting the restaurant's rich clientele. A number of such incidents have been reported to the police bureau. Wicked crimes indeed. We wanted to nip this case in the bud quickly, especially with so many foreigners having been infected. Why we were sent undercover, is it? Yes, I took on the job as a waiter in the restaurant in order to flush out the criminal. Seems likely this Koban incident is the work of the same thief. So unbeknownst to us, there was a master thief at work in the restaurant on a regular basis. The place was already the scene of several crimes, it seems. I don't know about the master thief part, but the identity of the person who stole and hid the coin is all too clear. Is it? What? Tell us who the despicable... I mean, him, yeah? Because it was... He was talking about having the steak as well because he saw her steak. He was sitting with her, or with the dude, and it was on the table and then just disappeared. So I think it has to be him. Because he said he was too busy looking at the stake when the gunshot went off. He was putting a coin under the stake? And yeah, they did mention, like, he has the baby strapped on his back because he has money problems and can't hire a nanny. Oh, boop.
Take that!
Obviously. Yeah, it can only be you. Solving extra crimes. Well, on a murder trial. How dare you? You monster. Monster? I stole that koban, did I? I'm the master thief of La Carnival, am I? You're seriously accusing me of these crimes, cadet? It wasn't me! The baby! The baby was the mastermind behind all of this. What? That's a proper face to make right here. You would push blame of your crimes onto your own son, an innocent little baby? It's you who's the monster. Really? Just try and accuse your son? Yee. Ah! What is about to happen? Clippity cloppity clippity cloppity. What is happening? What is happening? Preparing to stand down in the Supreme Court, sir. Do any of you know the extraordinarily low wages of the Imperial Army pays to those it expects to keep our country safe? I understand that the temporary increase in taxation owing to the recent ended conflicts remains in place. I've heard of its hard lower-ranking soldiers making a living, yes. All I want is to put a hot meal on the table for my son. That's why you were stealing things at the restaurant? The place is heavy with money, or heaving. Every 3 days, I go there and do reconnaissance for a target. And I enjoy chopping my way through a good steak at the same time. Yeah, so you get big fat steak every 3 days. Sounds like he doesn't bother with a knife and fork either, which is worryingly believable. And your target that day was the old man and his koban? Yes, sir. He was an easy mark. I slipped the coin into my pocket without any trouble at all. A veritable phantom thief you are. All set to leave the stake. I was halfway through devouring when it happened. Bang. Yes, when the professor was shot, I knew that if the police conducted a search and found the coin in my pocket, I'd be finished. Ido too. So I hid the incriminating evidence as fast as I could, on the double. I slipped it under the stake, hoping that I'd be able to rendezvous with it again at a later date. Ow. This is ridiculous. Perhaps you could carry on with this absurd prattling in your own time. Well, Miss Brett. Of course, dear Leotio, of course. How rude of us. I'm quite sure there's no need to detain you any longer at all. I mean, it's not her plate, though. May your esteemed gentleman please be excused, Your Excellency. Indeed. The theft of the koban was clearly perpetrated by this baby-saddled sergeant. It would certainly appear to be unrelated to Dr. Wilson's murder. Of course it is. Hiding a coin. Wait. Has the picture been wrong all along? Has it not been a picture of their table or something? No. We know the one was turned around. Find out what happens next. Nonsense, is it? Well... Oof. As for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, beyond nonsense. Pure madness. How did I get to it? Because she switched the plates. She was grabbing the glass, probably. It had blood on it. I see no further justification for detaining her. Brett, you're free to leave. No? Thank you, Your Excellency. Good luck, everyone. Oh. And good day. Suffer. What's the matter with you? There's no time for daydreaming. Oh no, it's just... something about Miss Brett's parting words there got me thinking. Can't quite work out what exactly, but something she said jarred with me. I feel like there was a contradiction in there somewhere. Something that didn't quite add up. That's the case, don't just stand there thinking, make your voice heard! You can think later, but if you don't call out now, it'll be too late. The trial will be over.
Hold it!
Wait, Miss Brett. What is it now? I'm afraid, just one last time. Something I'd like to ask you. Isn't he yell contradiction in the game slash... so in the game slash anime, this is his, like, great-grandson or something, and it's Phoenix Wright. He'll yell, hold it, or objection, which we've seen other people using, but he hasn't used that yet. Except for once. He used objection once. I'd like to explain the contradiction in your parting words just a few moments ago. What are you talking about? What contradiction?
Objection!
This man's been using our objection. What new student nonsense is this? Well, what parting words are you talking about? Oh. Hiding corn under a lump of meat? Your nonsense of such an idea astounds me. And as for picking up your steak and biting into it without a knife and fork, beyond nonsense, it's pure madness. How did you know? Said they're exposed to an undeniable contradiction. Need to see evidence. Can't see it on this one, but you can see it on this one, so I'm gonna assume... What? I mean, this shows the knife was clearly used. And the fork. But this steak has been bitten into. So it's the wrong steak. That's what we're trying to get at. These utensils are clearly used, but that steak has just been bitten into. Which I was noticing a while ago, and I was like, why did you what?
Take that!
He also says take that, so he has been using take that. Photographic print of this scene immediately taken after the incident occurred. What's interesting is the plated steak that you can see in the victim's table. Steak that Miss Brett had been eating before the professor was killed. Yes, go on. More accurately, steak that was on the victim's table just before the professor was killed. Now you're just splitting hairs. Not true. Doesn't something about this steak strike you as unnatural? Unnatural? What on earth do you mean? The fact that it's just been homped on. It's extremely obvious. I'm talking about the shape of the edge where it's been eaten. I see you've noticed it too, Miss Brett. Noticed what exactly, Counsel? Just a few moments ago, Miss Brett claimed no Englishman could ever even contemplate picking up a steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork. Of course she did. She's a refined English gentlewoman herself. And take a good look at the steak, in particular the edge where it's been eaten. As you can see, there are clearly defined barbaric teeth marks there. She's not going to reach over and eat that. Ah. Looks like Miss Brett has realized something. So, if the witness, as she claims, wouldn't contemplate eating anything without using a knife and fork, there shouldn't be teeth marks in this steak at all.
Objection!
What is your actual point? Perhaps the delightful Miss Bet was ravenous. Oh. Whatever you say, dear lady. As I said, I really must be leaving now. Afternoon tea with the Minister of Justice cannot possibly wait any longer. You don't just get to leave. Rest assured, I'm about to put this rookie in his place. Just leave everything to... I've heard enough, Tharu. You're irritating little spectacled samurai relic. Of course, dear lady! What's the matter, Miss Brett? Have we ruffled your feathers? Ha 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 ha. Clearly, the witness knows what this means. She's realized the catastrophic implications these teeth marks and the steak have for her. Do you know where you're going with this? The place we're switched. Yes. Now at last, it's all come together. The mysterious teeth marks on the steak that had allegedly been eaten with cutlery. The reason why the bloodstain I know I saw somehow seems to have disappeared, which is also why we can't see the teeth marks on this photo. Because I've been wondering about that. And most importantly, the evidence that proves once and for all who shot Dr. Wilson that day. I accept that these teeth marks in the steak are a little unnatural, as you put it, counsel. What exactly are you suggesting that tells us? Everything, Your Excellency. Everything? I believe that these barbaric teeth marks in the steak here amount to conclusive evidence in this case. Evidence that would prove beyond a doubt who shot Dr. Wilson. Conclusive evidence? How many times have I heard that today? You wouldn't know the meaning of the phrase. Typical Japanese empty threats. I mean, you threw the bottle that had the evidence in it last time. Oh, it's quite simple. If you really had such conclusive evidence, you would have presented it to the court long ago. Actually, the evidence I'm talking about hasn't been brought before the court yet. Hasn't been what? But just because it hasn't been shown yet, doesn't mean the evidence does not exist.
Objection!
This is absurd. The trial has run several hours already. Did you say there's evidence to be brought forward? That can't be. I don't believe you have it.
Objection!
I don't have it. But the dude has it. If that person is willing to submit the piece of evidence I'm referring to, I'll have everything remaining about this case. Very well. I have a feeling this will be my last request to the defense in this trial. Boop, 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 boop.
Take that!
He has it. Inspector Hasanoga. I have it? Yes. You think I've been withholding conclusive evidence? No, you just didn't know. Ridiculous. No, I'm not saying that. Everyone's attention has been focused on this steak with the teeth marks. Yes. Now, earlier this afternoon, he told the court the following. I enjoy chopping my way through a good steak, as well as admitting to stealing the coin. You watched it, cadet. I'm a superior... You watch it. Could you please confirm something for me? Was the steak that you put the coin under, in fact, your own steak? Attention. Affirmative, of course. I might be a soldier in the Imperial Army, but still. I'm not brave enough to ask a foreign gentlelady if she'd mind me manhandling her meal while to hide something in it. In other words, the steak that the detective submitted as the evidence earlier was in fact his meal. But that makes no sense. That plate was taken from the victim's table.
Objection!
He said objection. Yet the gentlewoman doesn't take bites out of her steak, nor does she have any opportunity to steal the coin. Of course I didn't steal it. To even suggest such a thing would be an affront to the entire British Empire. No, you've murdered somebody, so it's in fact worse. Who should want to have stolen the coin at this point? Surely you're not going to suggest that the sergeant switched the two stakes over, not the sergeant. Dum-dum. You did switch the plates? Well, after it happened... Oh, he did switch the plates! The dum-dum. When I saw the civilian had been murdered right in front of my eyes like that, I panicked. As I said, I immediately lifted my stake and hid the coin underneath it. But then when the waiter announced he was an undercover policeman, I thought I had it. He decided to investigate my slab of meat, that'd be it. I'd be getting my marching orders, so he switched the plates, not her. Interesting. When the cadet here was arrested and taken off the kitchen, I seized my chance. With military precision and timing, I switched my steak with the one the foreign ladies table. What? You can't have... I never saw you do such a thing. It was called Operation Lightning Bolt. There was no time for strategic planning. Do or die, I tell you. So yes, I did what had to be done. Unbelievable! However, feel or not. What now? Around the brass buttons of my uniform. That's all I did, sir. All I did? That's plenty, Sergeant.
Yes!
So if he switched the plates over, means he took Miss Brett's steak and the plate that was on back to his own table. Inspector Hosonaga, show us the other plate. Said you had not only taken Miss Brett's steak after the incident, but also the sergeant's. You'd taken both. Oh, she's getting ready to do her freak out. I can't wait. Please present to the court now. A plate that was actually on the victim's table at the precise moment he was shot, which means he was facing the other way. I mean, cold slab of tough meat can't have the slightest bearing on the case. No, you're not wriggling your way out of this, out of it this time, lady. I beg your pardon? Surely you're not that forgetful. Surely you remember the reason why this steak pan promises to prove such a problem for you, no? You're the ones who decided it was a problem, not me. The reason the defense asked to see the plate was to confirm something the defendant remembers seeing. Thinks he remembers. I'm quite sure of what I saw. Don't remember you wearing a swan, but he remembers a spot of blood. On the side of the plate that was directly behind Dr. Wilson was a clear splattering of blood from the gunshot wound on the victim's chest. I believe the defendant's memory serves him well. And now we have the evidence to prove it. The plate you're eating from, Miss Brett. Let's not prolong this any further. Inspector, you will show the evidence to the court. Give us the beefsteak. Yes, sir. Okay, he's not a bad boy. It wasn't a dual thing. This was just because the professor was facing the other way. Sorry for keeping you. Here's the other steak in his plate. Please feel free to examine it. Was the blood not a concern to you the last time? Bloodstain. It's clearly visible. Look.
Yes!
Now this makes everything clear. The blood you can see on the side of the plate. Just that the moment the victim was shot, he was facing the table with his back to me. In other words, it's impossible for him to have shot the victim. No. It can't be. In fact, there's only one person who could possibly have shot Dr. Whistling from the front. Sure, everyone knows who that person is. That's right. Miss Brett. It's you! My pointing point. Here it actually comes. Oh, this one's neck broke. Outdone by a Japanese? Me? By a Japanese schoolboy? No, no, no! The bird is really like been a live swan this entire time. Yeah! Why did a chick just pop out? What is happening? I always love the freakouts of characters when you finally find them out. This is an extra level of wild. Why are there so many chicks? Where did they come from? There were no eggs on that thing. Please excuse my little outburst. I briefly lost my composure. Did you lose your composure, or did the swan on your head? Most unbecoming behavior of an English gentlewoman. Forgive me. Well, Miss Brett, I think it's time you told the court what actually happened that day. The truth this time. Gladly, Your Excellency. This game is amazing. I love these games so much. They're so dumb, but so great. It was I who took the professor's life using the curare. As you surmised, I chose that particular day for one very important reason. The professor had a dental appointment for the extraction of one of his teeth in the morning. So you planned to kill the professor, knowing that no trace of poison would be found in his water. Because curare is unheard of here in Japan. Yes. Of course, I never intended to remain at the restaurant for as long as I did. I only needed to see the professor take one tiny sip of his water and it would all be over. I would place the steak I had ordered in front of him to make it appear as though he'd been dining alone, and leave him immediately, however. Before any of that happened, there was an unexpected visitor at the professor's table. That would be me, I suppose? Yes, you. Who else? Such a trifling matter, but the fact that you decided to come over and greet the professor meant that I had lost my chance to slip away unnoticed. In due course, the professor took a sip of his water and was paralyzed. I made sure he was sitting on his chair and such that he wouldn't fall. There's no going back at that point. So I concocted a plan on the spur of the moment. Plan to pin Dr. Wilson's murder on this innocent man. I happened to know the professor always carried a gun. I decided to use that fact to my advantage. I had the bottle of curare in my handbag, and my own pistol concealed under my skirt. Haha! Under your skirt? Yes, hoop skirts are great. So I was right, there were two guns. Yes. And then I finished my coffee and got up to leave. That's when I noticed the professor's gun, which you had presumably placed on the floor. Place where you're sure I would notice it. And everything went according to plan. You noticed the gun as I intended. And then, just as you bent down to pick it up, bang! That's when you shot the professor with your own gun. Even though at that point, he was already dead. Naturally, the gunshot caused a commotion, at which point the waiter appeared. Obviously, I assumed that he was the culprit and apprehended him. I took him to the pantry that adjoins the kitchen and locked him inside. That's when I took the opportunity to turn the professor and his chair around. Because, of course, you needed to make it look like the defendant had shot Dr. Wilson from where he'd picked up the gun. There you have it. That is the entirety of my misdemeanor. That's not all that was. Your Excellency. Yes. I wonder. Might I speak with you in private later? Shall call on you. Thank you. Good day then, everyone. I hope you can forgive me. Naruhado-san. Look at her using Japanese honorifics. You will see. This trial has finally run its course. I presume the prosecution is in agreement? This can't be. I do not lose. Not like this. This rookie student. You better get started going through tough opposition. Ararugugu. Rienhosuke Naruhado Hodo. This insult to the Ochi family name will never be forgotten. Become conceited with age, Council, but the old will have to stand aside and make way for the new. In the way of the world, may you never forget that. So are you about to pull out your sword? My lord, we are in a court of law. Well, that's just rude. Sir? Pretty sure that's a level of rude you just did. 1,000 millennia may pass. Still, Yoshifumi will never measure up to the Naruhodo clan, which is why he's the dumb lawyer you always face up against in the trials that are the beginning explanation things, and you always win against him. That's hilarious. This trial in the Supreme Court of Japan will, I believe, go down in history as the start of a new chapter in the court's judiciarial system. He did kind of deserve it, though. Despite being summoned as the accused, you, Rienosuke, presented an excellent case. I thank you, Your Excellency. The use of evidence and deduction to unravel the truth as a modern methodology. After all, it has only been a few short decades since our country opened its doors to the wider world. But the Western idea of science is rapidly gaining acceptance here. I feel sure that science will soon bring new methods of investigation and new procedures of justice. A new future law awaits, but what will it look like? I cannot begin to imagine. That is for the young to pursue. Kazuma. After this trial, you are set to embark on a journey of discovery to the illustrious British Empire. Learn all that you can. Absorb everything of the wider world that you are able to. And do not forget to fulfill the mission imposed upon you. Mission? To learn or more than that? I understand, Your Excellency. What was that about? Why do you look so grave all of a sudden? What kind of mission has he been giving? Never mind. As for you... Oh, yes? In you I sense, how can I put it? Unusual potential. I very much look forward to seeing how you carry that onwards. Thank you. It is time to deliver the final verdict. I hereby find the defendant, Rienosuke Naruhodo, not guilty. We win! Where are the sakura blossoms coming from? The petals should not be inside. Excuse me. Court is now adjourned. 2:46. Hot damn. To be fair, that's pretty accurate for like the time it took us to do this. That's kind of funny. Can't believe it. Can't believe what's happened. I made it. I defended myself. I made it through the horrendous trial. Ryunosuke, you finally pulled it off. Congratulations. I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you. Ha 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 ha. No, it was a pleasure to watch you work. You owe me an extra large sukiyaki from the place on Yume University Street. Don't forget. Good afternoon. All your hard work has certainly paid off. Oh, it's you. Sato. Congratulations to both of you proving Naruhodo-san's innocence. Ah, our trusty judicial assistant. You worked hard for that result too, you know. Oh no, I didn't do anything. Thank you so much! If we hadn't had that research report of Miss Brett's, I didn't know how things would have turned out. Your kind words should really be for my father. I was simply doing as he asked. It was his idea for me to go to the university and investigate. Your father? Yes, of course. Forgive me for intruding upon the court proceedings. We saw this like an hour ago. Speaking of Mikotaba, there you are. I believe congratulations are in order. Naruhodo, you did an excellent... I don't know why I keep adding an extra A. Thank you, Professor. Oh no, it is I who should be thanking you, after all. Your efforts exposed the true criminal that took the life of my good friend. Good friend? Oh yes, you mentioned that before. It was you who actually invited Dr. Wilson to Yume University, wasn't it? Yes, that's right. Professor Mikotaba studied overseas himself. He went to study forcenetic medicine in Great Britain. Presumably, that's where you met Dr. Wilson? Okay. In those days, we worked together in the same hospital. We worked together? I never heard you mention that before. It was a long time ago now. Besides, your turn. Great Britain is a magnificent country. It leads the world in science, medicine, engineering, culture, and of course, in law. Watch and learn, my boy. See what's happening in the world's largest melting pot. I will. I'll learn all that I can. I swear in this, the spirit of the Asuki clan. You probably shouldn't bring your sword. You're not taking that sword to Great Britain, are you? Of course I am. Japanese man katana is his soul. This blade shows me where I need to go. Cuts down anything that's in my way. Yes, I've definitely seen how sharp it is already with my own eyes. That reminds me, what's happened to the woman? After all, she's guilty of murder. Ah, yes, her. Oh, it's difficult because she's foreign. It's not easy to tell you this, but... I mean, surely she's going to face trial herself now. She's the true culprit, after all. She will be leaving Japan in the very near future for Shanghai. What? Shanghai? She will not appear again in court in this country. I'm certain of that. What? Why not? The matter of consular jurisdiction. Words are hard right now. I've been streaming for 3 hours. It was a hard-fought battle in the courtroom today. Impressive to watch. But what's all this about? Consular jurisdiction. We cannot try this particular foreigner for her crimes here in Japan. But we can't try her? But then who? Who's bringing her to justice? A British consular court will hear her case somewhere far away where our voices can't be heard. But why? Professor, I simply don't understand. I thought courts were a thing of the past now that we've signed the friendship treaty. Ah, yes, in normal circumstances, you're right. And so long as this is not a serious incident of highly political nature to our respective governments, I can't invoke the... Maybe because she murdered a fellow Englishman? Can't they? Yes, she's a student, but it doesn't justify our governments making secret agreements about her fate, does it? Something strange is going on. Can't be held accountable for her actions here in Japan. I'm afraid for the young student, today's trial will be nothing more than a game all along. There was never any danger of comeuppance for her. I don't believe it. The British government's Foreign Affairs Ministry has demanded that we hand her over the custody of Miss Brett. They're obviously taking this case to a foreign student committing murder very seriously. But it's all going to change from now on. Make a change. It's a time of great turmoil. This new era heralded by the start of the 20th century. One day, I have no doubt, that woman will receive the judgment she deserves. This change is coming. And we're the ones driving it. Well, I think that's enough seriousness for now. Evening calls for a celebratory drink. No one have wounds in their mouth. You're right, this is not the time for gloomy faces. We should be celebrating Ryunosuke's not guilty verdict. Let's start having some fun. In that case, might I suggest Le Carnaval? As the head waiter, I should be delighted to provide you with ample food and drink. You're a detective, aren't you? Let's not worry about the details for now. Will you accompany us? Wipe your mouth. Sir. Shall I go and attend to the paperwork for Naruhato's-san's release? Ah, yes, thank you. Alright, so she won't be tried here. I suppose that means I'll never know. I'll never find out why she killed Dr. Wilson. How many swans will that have had by then? Kazuma. Yes? I just wanted to say thanks again. That's all. Really saved my skin today. I didn't do a thing. You were the lawyer in there, weren't you? The defense was all your own work. Your skills will have made a difference, though. One day, I bet you'll be the best lawyer in the world. I'm not so sure about that. It will be you, Ryunosuke. To be honest, something kept occurring to me over and over again during the trial. I couldn't help thinking that maybe you're the one destined to become a great lawyer, not me. Well, come on, be serious. If I helped you today, it was only right at the very start of the trial. You have a natural talent for it. For being a defense lawyer, I mean. No, not me. All that tense verbal combat? I never want to go through that again. I just did what you told me to do, that's all. Because I knew I could trust you. Point. Sorry, what do you mean? That's the point. Listen, Ryunosuke. You know what the most crucial weapon is that any lawyer needs in order to win? Knowledge of the law? No. The ability to believe. To believe? To believe what? A defense lawyer has to fight for his clients. He has to believe in all of them, in them at all times. Like you believed in me when I said I didn't do it. I'm human, just like you. I don't have some superhuman ability to know the truth. You have to make a choice about what to believe and to stick with it when you're defending somebody. Sometimes in the courtroom, you can't really be backed into a corner. Or you can be really backed into a corner. But being able to remain faithful to what you choose to believe in, even then, well, that's not something anyone can do. It takes a special kind of person. Believing in your client. Just look at today's trial. I'm a student lawyer with precious little real experience, but you never stop believing in me. Well, you face seemingly hopeless situations time and time again, but you never stopped looking for the truth. And in the end, you found it. Thoroughly. through your own efforts, and because you were never stopped believing in me. Look at that. Ah, gotta go back into the game. Something I want to ask you about, actually. Well, it's a favor, really. Something very important to me. Now, serious, what is... Ah, you're still here, are you? No, he's never gonna ask us. Oh, Inspector Hasanaga. I've arranged some rickshaws for us. Let's go! Thank you. We'll be right there. Have you not wiped your mouth since you left the last time? Sir? Sir? Pick up this conversation again later. We should be celebrating right now. That feels like a red flag right there. Never gonna pick up this conversation again, are we? Your study tour in Great Britain, don't forget. Ah yes, that do. So my very first trial came to an end. Kazuma. Professor Mikotaba. Misato-san acted as my assistant. Inspector Hosonaga, who didn't really play much of a part, but still, he brought the evidence that was very important. Because of help and support of all these people that I managed to get through the trial. I kind of hope he's going to be the regular detective in this story, like Gumshoes is in the other stories. Kazuma hadn't yet managed to ask his favor of me. Little did I realize just how much it would change my life. Oh, he does get to ask the favor, maybe. Woo! We did it! First trial done. Heck yes, save the current progress. Doop-de-doop. We win! You're welcome for the extra long stream. I felt like it would only be another hour and I wanted to finish that trial because heck yeah. How many episodes are there? 5? Yes. The Adventure of the Unspeakable Story. Okay. So that was trial 1. I hope y'all enjoyed it. We shall be back with more streams later this week. Everyone have a lovely evening. Enjoy yourselves. Be good. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.